this video, I'll show you how to play Cherry Waves by the Deftones. If you like the video, please like and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment. Maybe there's another song or artist you'd like to see me cover. Also, check out the Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you'll get a PDF of this lesson as well as a Guitar Pro file for this lesson and many, many more that you can play along with. Grab a guitar and let's play. Alright, for this lesson, first thing you're going to need to do is take the E string and tune it down to a D. That's going to be in a drop D tuning. Let's look at the intro. The intro's got a cool little melody part that starts on the 5th fret of the 2nd string, then goes to the 7th fret of the 1st string, before landing on the 6th fret of the 2nd string. So that little first part, 5, 7, 6. Now the second half of that melody, because there's going to be 2 in that intro, is going to start back on 5 on the 2nd string. It's going to hit 5 again, and then go to 6 on the 3rd string. So that second half. So altogether, the intro will have this little part. Also in the intro, you have a real quiet part. It's a little picking part that's going to go between 2 strings, the 1st and the 2nd. We're going to start on the 7th fret of the 1st string, and that finger's going to stay there for the whole pattern. And then we're going to have our 1st finger go on the 5th fret of the 2nd string, and that's going to move from the 5th fret to the 6th fret. So we're going to start off with 8th notes going from 7 to 5. It's going to do that for 2 measures. And then we're going to move our 1st finger up to the 6th fret. Going to repeat that 7-5 pattern. And then we're going to do a measure of the 7-6. And then on the last measure, we're going to go 7-6, 7-6, and then up to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. So all together. When we get into the first verse, that melody line is going to continue the same 2-part pattern throughout the entire first verse. And then again. Also, during the first verse, we're going to have that picking pattern again, going from 7-5 to 7-6. We're going to do that pattern without sliding up to the 8th fret for this verse. And that's going to repeat the whole verse. Once we kick into the first pre-chorus, we've got the heavy distorted guitars kicking in, and because of the D tuning, we're just going to play an A5 power chord here on the 7th fret using the low 3 strings. And we're going to do downstroking 8th notes for 8 measures. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 6 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 7, 2 and 3 and 4 and 8 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Next we're going to get into the first chorus. The first chorus is going to start with the open D tuning. So we're going to have the low 3 strings. Going to have those notes ringing out, and then we're going to slide up to the 9th fret to grab a B power chord. So we're going to have 2 measures of D, 2 measures of B. That's going to repeat. Then we're going to have a measure and a half of D, and we're going to go to a cool little bend on the 6th string, 3rd fret, before landing back on B on the 9th fret. So I'll go ahead and walk through that, starting off with D. Now to B. back to D, back to D, measure and a half of D, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and you're going to land right there on that B5. Next up we've got an interlude. We're going to have that picking pattern as well as a higher melody that can be played on the first string, 9th fret, 10th fret, 9th fret. So it's going to be 9, 10, 9. And then we're going to have 10 on the second string and 10 on the third string. And that'll repeat. Also in the interlude, that picking pattern is just going to be like the intro. So we're going to have 2 measures of going from 7 to 5, 2 measures of going 7 to 6, 2 measures of going 7 to 5, a measure and a half of 7, 6, and then sliding up to that 8th fret. So it'll sound like this, starting off with 7, 5. Next we get into the second verse, and that second verse is going to have that high melody just like the previous verse where it's going to go from 5 to 7 to 6. And then 5, 5, and 6 on the third string. And that pattern will repeat one more time. We'll also have that picking pattern, and the picking pattern is not going to go up to the 8th fret, so it will just be the 7 to 5, 7 to 6. And that'll repeat the whole verse. Next, the heavy guitars kick back in with a pre-chorus, and we're going to have 8 measures of that A5 power chord on the 7th fret. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next we get into the second chorus. Second chorus is going to be real similar to the first. We're going to have 2 measures of D, 2 measures of B, so open and then 9. That's going to repeat 2 measures of D, 2 measures of B, and then we're going to get into 2 run-throughs of that D with a bend into the B. So we'll have 2 measures that are real, 2 times through that are real straight. Then up to the 9. That'll repeat. Now we'll have 2 times through with the bend. Next we get into the bridge. The bridge is going to have just a slightly different feel to it, but we're going to keep those power chords. So it's going to start off on the 2nd fret with an E5, and then open, so. Then we're going to slide up to the 3rd fret, and then open. So 2, 2, 2, 0, 3, 3, 3, 3, 0, 2, 2, 2, 0, 3, 3, 3, 3, 0. And it's going to do that pattern 4 times. From there, we're going to get back into the downstroking 8th notes, and we've got a couple of different chords here. Easiest way I can explain it is if you want to go to the 7th fret and make like an E bar chord, normally like you would with normal tuning, and then extend that first finger all the way up to the 6th string. And then with your pinky, you're going to go to the 2nd string, 10th fret. So if you're looking at tab, it would say 7, 7, 9, 9, 10. First finger is going to cover the 7th fret of the 5th and 6th string. Your 3rd finger is going to cover the 9th fret of the 3rd and 4th string, and your pinky is going to grab the 10th fret of the 2nd string. We're going to have 2 measures of that, and then 2 measures with the pinky lifted off. It'll sound like this. Next, we're getting into the third and final chorus. Third and final chorus is going to be very similar to the second chorus, where we have 2 straight patterns, D to B, D to B, and then we're going to have 3 patterns where you'll get the bend, and then finally 2 measures of D at the end after the third bendy pattern. Let's walk through it. Here we go. Starting with D, we're going to do D to B, D to B. Now to B, 9th fret. Back to 0. Back to 9. Now 3 bendy patterns. That was the first one. Here comes the second. Last one. And now we're going to have 2 measures of D. In the outro, we're going to have that high melody part, but it's only going to play the first part of it, from 5 to 7 to 6. And it's going to do that 6 times. Two more times. Along with that melody in the outro, we're going to have the picking pattern. Picking pattern is going to be the pattern where it's going to slide up to the 8th fret, and it's going to do it every other time through. So it'll start off with 7-5, 7-6, 7-5, and then 7-6 with the slide up to 8, and it's going to do this pattern 3 times. And then it'll do that 2 more times. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment. Maybe there's another song or artist you'd like to see me cover. Also, check out the Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you're going to get a PDF of this lesson, as well as a Guitar Pro file that you can play along with for this song and many, many more. See you in the next video. It's going to start on the first thing. Oh, fuck a tash.